Made in Hollywood.
All right, without a doubt, Freddie Mercury was one of rock music's most charismatic performers ever.
Yes, and I got to learn what it was like to be Freddie for a day when I went to Las Vegas to hang out with the cast of Bohemian Rhapsody and rock out with the band Queen. I already love the movie so much, even though I only got to see 30 minutes of the film. I know it's kind of soon, but I want to say that it's going to be my favorite movie of the year because I love musicals and there's obviously so much great music in this movie. I just had a huge smile on my face for 30 minutes today, and I didn't even realize that all of these iconic songs are Queen, and I think that that's something because it was before my time, but I feel like that makes it the perfect movie for this generation.
Yeah, I mean, all that music is so universal. We just hear it everywhere, don't we? In sports stadiums, on the radio, on TV. But I think sometimes we take it for granted. So it's good to kind of go back to the origins of this music, to the band that created it, and tell that story.
Yeah, the first two songs I ever heard were Bohemian Rhapsody and Another One Bites the Dust, and I didn't realize that was the same band. Like that music is so incredibly different, and to think that it's the same four people doing all that stuff is wild.
Exactly. Yeah. Today when I was watching the clips, I'm like, oh, this was all from just one band, all of these different songs that I totally know and love.
I think that'll surprise a lot of people as well.
There's so many messages coming out of this movie, there's so many layers to his life that I think we can give to people to make it accessible to people. A young immigrant, born in Zanzibar, raised in Mumbai, had to leave because of a civil war, lands up in England and becomes Freddie Mercury. Well, right there is a message for today's young people.
So now what?
This is when the operatic section comes in.
Oh, the operatic section, yeah.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go.
I feel like Rami Malek just totally embodied Freddie Mercury so well. Where did you come in this process?
Wow, it's a long story, but I bought the life rights to Freddie and the band 10 years ago, and so I've been for 10 years so passionate to bring this to the screen. And Clint Eastwood told me once, you know when the stars aligned. And when I met Rami Malek, the stars aligned. Everything came together.
Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, for me, for me.
I have to ask you about the singing in the movie because the actors you maybe hear some of Rami, but not all of him, correct? Right. So what made up the voice of Freddie Mercury?
It was Freddie. I mean, it was Freddie and this guy, Mark Martel, who Brian and Roger had found many years ago, and a bit of Rami. To match Freddie Mercury's singing voice is very tough, so why even try it?
We will rock you. Sing it!
I think the first time that you guys stepped onto set as these guys, you performed in front of a live audience?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's with that? Like, they don't get to just give you an easy scene to kind of warm you up first?
No, we had to do... on day one, we were supposed to actually reproduce what is considered possibly the greatest rock concert of all time. So,
in the deep end.
Yeah, definitely in the deep end. It was good in one sense because we had some time, not enough time, but some time to rehearse with one another, and that started to build a really strong camaraderie.
It was a really full-on way to start the shoot doing Live Aid, but actually it galvanized us, it really forged us together as a band, and it meant that as we went on and did concerts later on in the shoot, we had a shorthand and we knew how to interact with each other and how to move around the stage with each other, so that by the end, towards the end of the shoot, it became kind of instinctive, really.
Right, because you think you would start with the scene where you guys are performing together for the first time and that awkwardness.
Yeah.
You would think. That
makes sense.
You're a legend, Fred. We're all legends.